If you want to start displaying more social proof on your website and growing your conversions, then stay tuned because I'm going to be giving you my personal experiences of a fantastic tool that I use called Senja, that it helps you to collect and manage testimonials, reviews, success stories, everything else in a really, really simple, intuitive way and embed them on your website and help to grow your conversion rate. So in this Senja review, I'm going to be going through my own personal experiences. I'm going to be showing you how I actually implement the tool on my platform and also how it looks in the back end. So you can see all of the features that are available for you to use. So I'm Paul and I'm the founder of CRO Genie. I've been working in conversion rate optimization for over 18 years and I've been advising my clients for most of that time to grow their social proof and add more reviews, add more testimonials. And so Senja is the perfect platform for that. So as part of this video, we are going to look very briefly at why you need reviews and testimonials anyway. Then we'll look at some of the problems with the so-called popular solutions. And then we'll look at how Senja actually solves those problems before I'll go into how I'm using Senja on my website and then walk you through the platform itself and show you some of the key features. And then if you stay tuned to the very end, I will also share 5 little known tips that have been proven by scientific studies that are all related to testimonials and how you use them on your website. So let's get started. So here are some statistics that help to show why you need reviews and testimonials on your website. So 92% of customers are hesitant to buy a product if there are no customer reviews. Okay, so basically, if you've got no reviews on your website at all, people already are starting to doubt whether they should be buying from you. And all of these stats are taken from various surveys on the web. Number 2, putting customer testimonials regularly on your product page can increase your annual revenue by 62%. That's from an actual split test, an A/B test, and that tested this method. So using them regular, they're not just a one-hit kind of thing, as a lot of people use them on their sites. Testimonials should be throughout all of your flows. 88% of customers trust online reviews and testimonials just as much as peer recommendations. So it's not even about people have to know or recognize the people who are giving those reviews and testimonials. They just want to see that they're there. They trust them just as much if they're coming from complete strangers. 72% of customers also say that positive reviews and testimonials strengthen their trust in a business. So they're very much one of the linchpins of building that trust and credibility with the people visiting your website. And then the last one on there, I'll just move my video slightly out of the way. So video testimonials can improve organic search traffic to a website by up to 157%. And it's all to do with the signals that it's sending to Google and the other search engines. It's helping to keep people engaged on your website for longer. Sometimes the reviews themselves will actually show up in the search results. Like, there's so many benefits beyond actually building that trust and credibility. And I sell a spreadsheet called the CRO Growth Accelerator. It's packed full of 101 different ideas to grow your business, all based on conversion rate optimization. And what's really obvious if you ever decide to get access to that spreadsheet is you will see tons and tons of ideas that are all based around adding testimonials, adding reviews to your website. As I say, they're not just something that you add in one place, they're things that you can use throughout the flow. So I've been banging on about it to my clients for such a long time about getting more and more testimonials. And now Senja is a great platform for them to be able to do that. Of course, there are other solutions out there. So we're thinking about like Google Maps, for instance, Google Reviews, Facebook Reviews. You've got then platforms like Trustpilot, FIFO, like the really well-known review solutions. But the problem with a lot of these solutions, and they may not have all of these problems together, but these are some of the common things that you might encounter with those kind of solutions. Firstly, you get little to no control over the data. Sometimes you can't even export the data to use it elsewhere. So you're kind of locked into using that platform. And you certainly can't go in and edit the reviews. And if you've got a problem with a review where maybe it's not an actual customer, you've got no control over that, or you have to go through a lengthy process to kind of get that review removed. So the lack of control is really, really a disadvantage to using some of those platforms. You're also often locked into expensive recurring fees. And we're talking like literally hundreds of dollars a month for some solutions, even running into the thousands at times. And often you're locked in for a set period, or your reviews are all on that platform, so you don't have the option to kind of export them and move them somewhere else. So you're kind of locked in that sense instead. There's also often a lack of embed options on your website, and you have very little control over how it actually looks and feels and making it integrated with your website. There's just basically a few maybe core widgets that you can kind of embed if you're lucky, but they will look and be branded up with that platform's branding as well, or in a certain look and way, which might not fit with your brand and the way that you want the reviews to look on your website. And then creating shareable content is often a manual process. And many of these tools do not have an easy way for you to take a testimonial and share it with your audience on social media or whatever platforms you want to use, whether it's in an email or on your website or whatever it is. Like, you cannot easily take just one testimonial and put it out there for other people to look at. You would have to actually create the graphic yourself, copy and paste the details over, like much more time consuming to do. And then finally, the review trust is linked to the reputation of the solution. So every now and again, you will see news stories about sites like Trustpilot or some of the other sites where there may be a case of somebody buying reviews and therefore the reviews not being quite trusted. And whenever those stories go about, then that can affect the reputation of that platform that's providing the service. And because that platform tends to brand up the reviews that you put on your website, then that will also have a knock-on effect on how much people trust the reviews that you're displaying on your site. So you're very much in the hands of how reputable the platform that you're using is at the time. So the way that Senja solves these problems is that firstly, all of your reviews can be manually approved and edited as required. So reviews, like I talk about editing the review, so I'm not talking about taking a negative review and turning it into a positive one. But it could be that they've spelled your brand name wrong, there's a typo in it. All of these little things that can actually reduce the amount of trust that people have in that review, you can go in and just fix and edit. And also, if you get a review in that's actually not for your business, they've confused you with somebody else, you can just reject that review. You don't have to display it at all. So you've got much more control over what is displayed to users. There's also no long-term contracts because you can cancel at any time. Plus, all of the data can be exported easily to other platforms. You can download a spreadsheet that has all of the data in there and import that into a new platform. So you're not locked in to using Senja in the long term. Senja has lots of simple and copy and paste embed options with lots of control over how they look and feel. So you'll see when we go into the platform in a few moments exactly how that kind of plays out and all of the different options that are available. And that kind of ties into the next one, which is you can choose from thousands of templates to quickly create shareable review images. So there's much less of a manual process. You can just go in quickly, kind of create the graphic because it's already done for you. Just select which one you want, which testimonial you want. It creates the graphic. You download it and upload it to your social media feed or email or whatever it is that you want to put that review on. So loads more control, loads more marketing angles that you can use those reviews for. And then finally, if you go for a paid Senja plan, then it removes the branding, so there's absolutely no visible link to Senja whatsoever. So you're not tied into the reputation of Senja, you're only tied into your own personal brand reputation. So it solves some really important problems. Let me now just move on and look at the real life implementation of exactly how I use Senja on my website and how it's helped me to grow my business. So I'm using it on my website, CRO Genie. I'm going to switch to that now. And straight away you will see that we have this little widget here. We've got some star ratings, the overall rating, number of reviews, and the little icons of some of the people. This is really, really powerful when used in that hero section of your website, directly below your buy now button or somewhere close to it at least. And the reason that works is it gives a really quick overview. Star ratings are actually really powerful. And then when you've got the little icons next to it, it looks like real people have reviewed it, so it increases the amount of trust. This testimonial here, that is actually me manually adding that, albeit there are some other options within Senja that would allow you to do a similar thing. And then straight away, to really pile on the trust and proof on my website. So this website, by the way, sells CRO audits. So trust is a very, very important factor. And so I have immediately added 3 testimonials here and picked out just one key line, a few words from each of these 3 testimonials. Again, I could have more on here. There's all sorts of different looks and feels, but I decided to go with a really simple one. The key thing here is that we are showing people's photos, their star rating, a really useful line from the testimonial, and also their name and job title too. And then scrolling down the page further, we then get to the wall of love. So this is another Senja widget. This is all controlled by Senja. This is a feed of all of the reviews that I've approved. And you can see that we are able to highlight within Senja. I will show you that in a moment. But we have all of the reviews here. There's video reviews that we've collected as well. And this really, some people use this as a standalone page. In this case, I have embedded it within my main sales page because it really, really helps to show how many people think that you're brilliant. So the wall of love is designed to just basically overload people and show them, look how many testimonials we've got. I'm not expecting people who come to the website to read every single one of these reviews. That's not the point of them. They might pick up on a few, they might read a few bits from some of them, but the main point is they come and they go, wow, look at how many reviews there are. And this was all done in a really simple widget. It took me about 2 minutes to get the code and then put it onto my website. That's how easy it is with Senja, and that's how easy it is once you start collecting those testimonials. And then as we go down, there's another Senja widget here. You can see it's a very different style once again, but it's to kind of, this comes after the buy now button on my page, and it's basically designed so that somebody's gone through everything that I've offered, they've looked at the pricing plans, they've got to this point, and then they've started to go, hang on, might be just having a few second thoughts. So this just layers on all of that trust. Again, it's picking out key lines from each of the reviews. So these are the same reviews that were in the wall of love further up. But we've just picked out a few of the key ones. Again, get the photo in there and the name and the job title. That's really, really important for building that trust. And adding these to my website has been really, really powerful for helping me to attract more clients and getting people to convert on my site. So that's looked at how I'm using Senja on my website. Now I just want to go through a very quick walkthrough of my own Senja account so you can see exactly what features are available and how you can use that. I am using the starter plan, so this is the paid plan, but it's the cheaper of the paid plans that are available. I started off on the free account. That allowed me to have, I think, up to 15 testimonials at the time, and I've basically fell in love with it, found all of the features really, really useful, and upgraded and bought the annual plan, and I'm more than happy with the tool and how it's working for me. So let me just show you some of the key things. So when you log in, you will see a page like this once you've started collecting your reviews, and this basically gives me a summary of some of the ways that I can add these to my website. So you can see there's different kind of designs and boxes, there's the little widgets with the stars, there are the logo kind of feeds. I'll go into exactly where you can get access to all of those, but this is just a quick way to access those options. And then down here, you will see a list of all of the customer reviews you've got, and there's different ways you can kind of sort them. And you can see there's options to approve or unapprove testimonials. And what we can do is when we click on a testimonial, on a review, we can go through, we can add a tag so we can relate it to a certain product, or perhaps it's a common feature that somebody's mentioned, and it just allows you to help sort and find these testimonials in the future. And you can see there's a few words highlighted there, and they are the same words that are used by some widgets. If you remember on my website, so it's like, this is just sustainable growth and measurable improvements from Ryan Sullivan, is actually just that one little line from there, and that's because I highlighted. The widget automatically pulls in that highlighted text, and the way we get that is we just click on edit, and then when we highlight some text in here, you can see there is an option there to highlight the text, and that will basically then allow that to show in a widget. And also we can go in and we can add various other things. We can edit other things. We can give it a title. We can do all sorts of things with that editing screen. And the tag feature I mentioned is allowing you to help sort and filter those testimonials. But how do we actually collect these testimonials? Well, that is done through forms, and Senja have recently released a multi-step form, which is absolutely fantastic because it really allows you to ask the questions you need to ask to get into the detail and really understand what people like about your product and turn simple reviews into longer case studies. So if I just show you very quickly some of the features within that, so it works on this kind of easy to see flow. So we see this is step one. It's the overall rating page. If I want to change any of the text in here, I just click in it and I can change the text on this side here. And then that you can see has updated there. And we can turn each of these steps on or off depending on what we want. We have pages, the design we can change, we can add our logo, and there's all sorts of things we can do here. But you can see, look, we go through different steps. So if somebody gives a negative feedback, we can just ask them basically what's wrong so that they give some feedback that you can use to improve your product or service. If they've given good feedback, then we can ask them to share a testimonial. And you can see I have actually added a video to the form so that people can get in a little introduction from me. It basically is just me saying, thanks for agreeing to submit a testimonial, and it really helps us to grow, and these are the kind of things you might want to kind of mention. So it helps us to get better testimonials. Then people can choose whether they want to send a video testimonial or whether they just want to send a text testimonial. There's some other options here which I've actually removed. You can add your own questions. If you see here, we can add an extra question. So you can get exactly what you want from this. And then at the end, you see quite a few steps there, but they're all fairly simple for people to follow. Once people have gone through the steps, submitted their testimonial, they see this page on my site where, again, there's another video of me just thanking them and saying how great it is that they left me a testimonial. Really great for just helping them feel that they've done a good thing and that it's valued, and helping to improve their brand perception. And they can click this claim reward button, which actually then allows them to spin the wheel and get a free reward for submitting the testimonial. So in my case, I have added lots of different features here. And each one, basically, if we look here, so each one has a voucher code that people can use to claim free services from me, or discounts on the service that I offer. And for each one, you can control the percentage, so how likely it is that somebody will actually get that particular reward. So you can make sure that the high value rewards have a lower percentage and the lower value rewards have a higher percentage of being landed on by users, and you can change the colours and the branding and everything else. So it's a great way to just encourage people to leave more testimonials. You can tell them about the spin the wheel before you ask them for the testimonial, so they know that it's going to be worth their time because they're going to get something from you. And obviously the reward you offer can be whatever you feel is the most relevant for your business. And in terms of how it looks, I have it set up to show on one of my own branded things. So look, you see, this is my URL, success.crogenie.co.uk. .com, sorry. I'm now going to just paste that into my browser, and just to show you how that actually looks in practice, it comes to this. It looks like it's on my site. I'll give a star rating, click submit, and then we go into exactly the steps that we've just seen on the editor. So whenever somebody's purchased from me, I will send them a link to that form and a little bit of kind of explanation as to why, and it allows them to go in and easily leave testimonials and get their rewards. There is also an option to import testimonials. This is really, really useful if you're coming from another platform and you want to be able to bring your testimonials and reviews with you. You can see all of these integrations here that allow you to easily pull in testimonials, including a CSV or XLS file. So if your platform isn't on this list, but it does allow you to generate a CSV file, you can download that and then upload it here. And get all of your testimonials imported into Senja so that you can start using them all straight away. You can also manually add testimonials as well. So if you've got testimonials in other places that you want to be able to just go in and just add manually, you can do that here too. So that's how you get and add testimonials. Again, makes it really easy to kind of collect them. Once they're in there and you've approved them, then you can use the studio here to create all of those lovely designs that we see. So you can see my saved ones across here. So the wall of love, that's all of these are things that you saw on the front end of the website that we looked at a few moments ago. So this page here, you can see we have the wall of love, we have those other testimonials, we have the testimonials at the top, and each one of these has various different options that allow us to edit it to control the look and feel. You can see just how many widgets there are, how many different options there are of things to display. We can change the design of what we want to show. We can select which testimonials we want to be included. We can have it on autopilot, so it just automatically pulls in the testimonials. We can put them in a different order. There's all sorts of different things we can do within there. That just makes it so easy to get them onto your website in a way which works for you. When it comes to sharing them on social media, if you go to the images section, again, you can see just how many different templates there are that are already looking fantastic, that you can go in and say, right, okay, we want this testimonial here. And I want to share it on social media, but it's not that kind of testimonial that we want, so we're going to change it in here. So we actually want to display this one, and we save the selection, and then suddenly that image has been updated to use that new testimonial, and I can now resize it to whatever size I want. I can change the colors, I can change the branding, do all sorts of things to get that exactly as I want it, and then I can click the share button, and you can see I have various different export options. So I can just download that as an image and then upload it on LinkedIn, Facebook, add it to an email, like do whatever I want with that graphic. And so this social proof studio is one of the things that makes Senja one of the best platforms out there. It makes it really easy for you to collect the testimonials, as we've seen with the forms. It makes it easy for you to manage it, and then it makes it easy for you to actually make them look really nice and embed them on your site and use them in your marketing. You can see the other options here. So there's a brand option here where we can upload logo and set the colors, so we get everything looking as it is with our website. There is also a rich snippet add-in, which allows you to get the review rating on your Google search listing. So hopefully, depends on Google, but usually Google will then display your star ratings once you activate this. You will need to be on the pro plan for this. I'm only on the starter plan. It's a more expensive pro plan, but that option is there if that's important to you. And then another really nice feature. I'm sorry, there's just so many good features within Senja. It's insane. So this feature is really useful. So if you're writing copy on your website and you want to make sure your copy and messaging is in line with what customers are saying about you and your products, then come to this section here once you've collected some reviews, and you can basically get a summary of exactly what people are talking about on the reviews that they've left on Senja. So here I've just clicked what do customers love about me. So based on the testimonials I've collected for my CRO Genie site, it's automatically summarised them as they like clear, detailed and actionable feedback. They like the highly valuable service that creates great insights, professional, responsive and worthy investment, cause a light bulb moment and provided fresh perspective. Suggestions are easy to implement. And then there's a little summary paragraph there as well. And again, we can go through, we can find what the pains are, we can find the common phrases that people use. And obviously, the more testimonials you have, the more in depth, the more useful this feedback will be. But you can look at some of these things. So look at the common phrases people are using. Worth the money, 100% recommended. We're still working on many. Like, you can use those and make sure they're reflected within your marketing. So you want to really get across the value for money in that case. We want to really get across that it's really well recommended. We want to get across that there's so many improvements that it will take you quite a long time to go through them. As I say, the more reviews you get, the more detailed and useful this will be, but it's really helpful for that copy and messaging. And then finally, there is a way to automate as well. You can connect to Zapier webhooks, APIs, in order to help automate that process of actually collecting testimonials, notifying you when you get them, although Senja will notify you anyway when you get a new testimonial. So that is the platform, the Senja platform as it stands at the moment. They are the guys behind it. They're working like madmen all the time to improve it, to add more features, to make it better and better every day. So no doubt by the time you're watching this video, there will be a lot more good features too. So hopefully you can see how useful Senja is and why you need it on your website. So let's now finalize this Senja review and look at the 5 little known tips that have all been proven by scientific studies. So these will help you to implement Senja in a more effective way. So number 1, reviews with swear words received more helpful votes in a study. So do not be afraid if a customer happens to have sworn on their testimonial. Do not be afraid to include that swear word in the review. Maybe you might want to put some stars on it if it's if you want it to be more family friendly, but do not edit it to remove the swearing completely. Also, a really interesting one, customers preferred moderately high ratings over maximum scores. So a lot of businesses obsess about getting like 5 out of 5 on these platforms, thinking that anything below that is going to be a negative for customers. Well, actually, studies have shown that's not necessarily the case. A lot of people actually prefer ratings to be slightly below the maximum, and maybe 4 to 4.5 stars. And a lot of the reason for that is just it becomes more trustworthy. It becomes like if you've got a few negative reviews, that's actually good. People trust it more. So do not obsess about getting to 5 stars. You want your review rating to be as high as possible, but anything over 4 is a good review rating that will help to persuade more people to choose you. Reviews are less persuasive with spelling or grammar errors. So remember earlier when I mentioned that it was really important to be able to edit the reviews to take out any typos, any mistakes with grammar, any misspellings of your brand name? Well, this study actually proved that people found reviews with spelling and grammar mistakes less persuasive than those that were perfect. So do go in and edit them with Senja. Number 4, visual ratings rather than numbers boost purchases because they seem higher. So that's why those widgets, like I've got in the hero section of my website, we do have the 5 there to signify exactly what the rating is. But the main thing there is that we have the visual rating of the 5 stars, and we do the same on each individual review as well. And that's because it is more powerful than just saying the number. So this person's rated as 5 out of 5. No. Show the actual stars. That visual reference is more persuasive than actually showing the exact numbers. And then finally, real names are more persuasive than usernames. So wherever possible, please do try and get the actual name of your customer and get them to allow you to display their name rather than just using usernames. However, that said, I would also say that if the username is your only option, then show it. A username is still better than not having a name at all. So keep those 5 things in mind as you're applying reviews to your website and look at Senja because, as I say, It is a really, really powerful tool. I absolutely love it. I'm sure you will love it too. It will help you to grow your business by making social proof so much easier. And please do check the description below the video, because if there is a current discount available for Senja, that will be mentioned in the description below, along with the link to Senja, so that you can go through and actually claim that. Please, if you have any questions or you like this video, give it a thumbs up, drop a comment below, and I will personally respond to all of the comments that we get. Otherwise, good luck with implementing Senja.